What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's Seven Figures Club podcast. Today, we've got a very fascinating guest. Now, over the last year, as we've seen, a lot of people have to work from home. Everyone's looking for additional opportunities to make money from home. And it turns out, actually, in my neighborhood, just down the street from me, I work with a professional who teaches people how to day trade and earn money in the markets, whatever time they have. And he's been doing this for over a decade. His name is Jaron Rime. He's the owner of Dominate Day Trading. And Dominate Day Trading is really on a mission to be able to help the average person be able to make money trading the markets from home. He teaches you how to dominate the foreign currency markets and how to understand them. And the thing I like about him is a lot of these traders like to talk about all the technical mumbo jumbo, which is really confusing and doesn't really help that much. And he simplifies it and makes it simple. He's got simple technical charting, and he's very effective at doing it. And that's why thousands of people work with his organization and him to learn how to trade. 21 years is the organization that it's been in existence, helping entrepreneurs and business owners and those who want to make money from home. So 21 years of track record, pretty impressive. And been doing it, since really the last economic slowdown. Now, Dominate Day Trading is so certain that they can make you a successful trader that they'll actually, this is just crazy, they'll let you trade with company money and split the profit with you, where you keep a good portion of the profits. So they'll actually let you trade their own money as you go through their program. That's super unique. That's crazy to me. So, I mean, that must tell us that they're really good at teaching people how to succeed, because they actually trust you to then trade their money afterwards. And Jaron's been in sales, he's been in entrepreneurship, and so we're very excited to welcome him to the Seven Figures Club podcast. Welcome, Jaron.
There are over 32 million businesses in the U.S., and over 90% of them will never break seven figures in annual sales. So how do we as entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs break into that seven figures club? This podcast will relentlessly share the secrets, strategies, and tactics I've used to create 3 multi-seven figures businesses and bring in even more successful entrepreneurs than me to share their inspirational stories and tactics to success. You can create your dream business and life right now. So buckle up and let's go.
Thanks, Leo. Thanks for having me on. This is great.
Now, I remember what really caught my attention. I remember I was watching the NBA Finals once, and I think I saw you in the backyard with your wife and kids. What was that all about?
It was a big surprise to me too. I thought they were going to air it like 2 weeks later. All of a sudden, right in between the Rockets and the Warriors, boom, yep. There we were on a 30-second commercial. It was a lot of fun. I didn't even warn my family yet because I thought it was 2 weeks earlier. And wow, there we were on the big screen. It was great. Even my kids went nuts because they're in the commercial with us,
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, that was awesome. So
bucket list check.
Yeah, no, well, that's pretty good. If you're on a big commercial when the NBA, championship, the NBA playoffs is on, that's pretty remarkable. So how did you get into this trading world of trading currencies and whatnot? How did this happen?
So it was 2014. My fourth child, my first son, he was about 2 weeks old. And I was needing to pay this really high, $10,000 cost for the self-employed health insurance and maternity that doesn't come with us, And for my first time, it was the first kid that I didn't have all of the cash to get the cash pay price. It was $4,000 more. And on the way home, I just told my wife, I was like, if I could have just had another way on the side to have made an extra $100, $200, I mean, I was $1,200 short. That was it. And so it was the very next day I just went online, Craigslist, KSL, some of those other job sites. And I was just like, is there anything I could do on the side? Because I was already working 7 to 7 in the mortgage business, refis, wow. Purchase loans. That's a self-employed type job, even though you get W-2'd on that one nowadays. So I didn't have time to go get another job. I was a soccer coach Tuesday, Thursday. That just forced me to go home so I would have a life with my kids. So I was just looking for what can I do online? Maybe I think eBay is what was popular back then, but then I saw an ad that said you can make $100, $200 in a day or in an hour. And I went, wait a second, that says an hour. Huh? And I read through it more and I just got really interested. And I mean, we'll talk a lot about the same things I read in that ad today. But ultimately for me, it said, you know, you had the opportunity to test drive it, see if it's for you, see if it's something you can do. And I'm all for trying things out. That's the entrepreneurial spirit I've always had. It's, hey, could I pull this off? I'm not satisfied with a $10, $12 an hour job. You know, I needed to do something else to really get after it. So the thing I'll tell you though, is with day trading, I had 4 guys that I had done loans for that were day traders. Leo, they had the best tax returns I'd ever seen in 10 years of the mortgage business.
Wow.
So when I saw that I'd have the opportunity to do it, like I asked one of those guys, hey, would you teach me? And he goes, yeah, for 50,000. And I just was like, wait, what? And I pointed out the window. I said, you see that 93 Toyota? I've had it since I was 16. This was years ago. I was like, so if I'm still driving a 93 and it was like 2000, I don't know, 2011, 2012. I was like, you think I have 50 grand? And then I talked to a good friend and he goes, Jaron, he asked me how much was on that tax return. I said, it was over $2 million. And he said, okay, 50,000 to him is 5,000 to you. And it was like light bulb. Okay, I get it. But that's what caught my interest was just, I needed an extra $100, $200 somewhere, somehow to just ease just the little life happening things with, you know, 4 kids at the time. I have 5 today. There's always something that goes on, right?
Yeah, no question. So you were looking for an opportunity, you know, you go through this crazy experience, and I've been there where you have to come up with all this upfront money because you know, health insurance is different when you're self-employed and a business owner, an entrepreneur. And everybody listening onto this podcast, if you're aspiring or you're already an entrepreneur, you know what we're talking about. And Jaron and I both have 5 kids. And so you're there and you're like, oh, I'm just short. And now you get charged all this extra money. And so you're like, all right, I've got to find a better opportunity. You go online and you find this opportunity. And then on top of that, you have the evidence of people who you're working with doing, you know, mortgage loans. And wow, these guys are making millions of dollars. And so you start to see the opportunity. So then what was the next step and process? How are you actually able to learn how to trade and then successfully do it? And then what led you into, you know, helping others with it?
So, you know, I just made the phone call. I called them up and just got the information. They spent a couple minutes with me on the phone. And then they led me over to an intro video where I got to see what it is that they had. It was really simple. They just wanted to show me what a buy and sell signal looks like. They didn't get overly technical like you were talking about at the beginning of this. It's if you're brand new to day trading, let me see the stuff that at least makes sense to me and let's build from there. And so they said, you know, if you like what you hear, come on into our office. You know, if you want to see us trade, you can do that. And I didn't live too far away. So I actually was invited over there for lunch. Dude, in the mortgage and real estate business, if you get a free lunch, you go. You know what I mean?
You do.
So I was like, yeah, I'd be interested to see this. And I saw this guy take 3 or 4 trades. He explained what I needed to know. I mean, there was more to it, but he just said, look for this, look for this, look for this. And on the 3rd one, he slid the mouse over to me and said, now you do it. And I was like, what? And he goes, well, isn't that this looks like something's building right there. I was like, yep. And I hit the button and it was $100. And I just was like, wait a second, did I just do that? And it was really fun because, you know, you get all worried when you don't know things. And he just put the mouse in my hand and said, take that trade from what I just taught you. And at the end, I was just like, that was awesome. That was really fun. You know, you let me do it. And that's when he explained to me that this company, we don't want you guys to have to take our word for it. We want you to get your hands on it and find out if it's a good fit for you. We also want you to find out, could I fit it into my already busy work-life schedule around my kids, around my job, around my life? Coolest thing about day trading is you can do it from anywhere. As long as you have an internet connection, it doesn't matter if you're in the USA, Mexico, the airport, Starbucks. I've traded at Disneyland, if you could believe that. I didn't have all of my stuff on me, but I took some trades, let them run, and I managed it while I was there. I had this goal to make as much money as I spent at Disneyland while I was in the park. I missed by about $400, but it was so much fun to be able to, I just wanted the story, you know, like last year to be able to do that. But the company gives you an opportunity to test drive it. And what we ask you guys to do is donate $10. Normally that donation is going to go to Operation Underground Railroad or another donation of our choice. This month, we're doing St. Jude's Hospital.
Both great charities. Both great charities.
Yeah, great charities. But you pay the $10, you get access to everything for 30 days. So the company does over 10 live trade webinars every single week, some in the morning, some at night. I host a couple of those myself. On the webinars, we're analyzing these indicators out loud. It's our own proprietary indicators that we teach you how to read and download them to your own computer. And then we're looking to take trades on those webinars. People are chatting in questions and comments. It's a normal thing. It's a really interesting, simple family atmosphere, I would say. We're picking on each other on these webinars. We're having a good time. And so those webinars go on. Then if you really like what you're doing, you see that there's really good potential, we want to plug you in and really get after this and train you in a 6 or a 9 week period. We fund live accounts around 9 weeks where you're trading on our money. And we're splitting the profits with you anywhere from 50, 60, 70, 80% profits in your pocket at the end of each month. And we add funds quarterly or monthly with profitable trading. So show us you're protecting our money, have more money in the account at the end of the quarter. We're going to add more funds all the way up to $50,000 or $100,000.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So you can go through the Dominate Day Trading program, learn the ins and outs, and trade any money that you have personally that you want to, but then also get the opportunity to trade company money and company funds. And that's just remarkable. That means that the program works. That means there's a lot of trust. Of course, I'm sure everybody has to earn it, but I don't think anybody's ever heard of anything like this. It's just so unique, and it's amazing that it's just down the street happening. So as people are looking for opportunities to work from home, what are some of the pros and cons of the trading industry and being able to day trade, versus, a regular job or versus other, work from home opportunities? What's so unique about the day trading industry that people need to know about?
That's such an interesting question. There's so many ways we can go with this, but I'll go with my personal experience because that was something that was important to me. Like, when do I quit my job? When do I go full time? Like, how does all of that work? And it's interesting. Not everybody's a full-time day trader. Everybody has their own reasons to day trade. If it's $100, $200, great. If it's part-time income, if it's supplemental income, retirement income. I mean, if I could put 30 guys in a room, everybody's going to have a different reason. There isn't something specific. But one of the interesting things about day trading is a day's income does not take 8 hours like a regular day job. You can make $100, $200 in a day. You can make it in an hour. I had a great trading day this morning. I did about $475 in about 12 minutes. And then I was able to look for some longer term trades, put the trades in. I got up, I walked away from my computer. They were set. I took a shower. I took my kids to school, and 2 more trades closed. So it's a way of just trusting the system, trusting these indicators that we're going to teach you guys how to read. When you're brand new in Trader Light, which is what we call it when you test drive it, I give you a series of 6 or 7 trading rules on 2 little charts. And if the trading rules are there, you take the trade. If they're not, I'm telling you, don't. Guess what? You're still going to take some trades with only a few of the rules are there. That's just human nature. And you get to learn, do I have the discipline? Can I have the patience to wait for these indicators to come around? Because day trading is a game of rules. You stick to the rules, you're going to do great. You go away from the rules, you're going to have a hard time. And the last thing that was on my mind when you asked me that question, okay, if you go to Vegas and you're gambling, some people know how to count cards. I wouldn't call that gambling. They've got a strategy, right? But you go to Vegas, and if you're winning, you just keep going and you just keep going and you just keep going. Some people have a plan. Here's my original $200. If I ever get to this, I'm done. Well, with day trading, you've got to have goals. Where's my exit? When am I done? So I teach a lot of my traders, look, aim for winning 1% per day or losing 2%. Whichever one of those happens, get out of the market. I've got a lady named Margaret. She's 66 years old. She's an amazing trader, and she only trades on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and she goes to brunch with her lady friends on Fridays. That's her life. She reminds me of a Avon sales lady when I was a little kid that would go visit my mom all the time. But she just trades those 2 days a week. Keeps it really, really simple. And when she's trading, it's from like 6 to 8 a.m. So if I could give you a time frame, my favorite times to trade are somewhere between 6:30 and 8:30 in the morning. The foreign exchange market, there's $5 to $6 trillion traded daily. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Tons of money.
So way more volume than the U.S. stock market, right?
way more volume than the US stock market. I mean, 5 to 6 trillion, it's open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. That means there's a market open somewhere when you're available to trade. But I'll tell you what, if you're working another job or you're even doing something part-time, usually between like 11 a.m. and maybe 6 in the afternoon, the market tends to be slow because all the big retail traders are out to lunch on the East Coast and Central. So this is, I would say, more of a morning or an evening thing. So back in my mortgage days, I looked for trades somewhere between 10 p.m. and 1 o'clock in the morning. My dad trades with us. He's in Southern California. He loves looking for trades between 11 p.m. and 2 o'clock in the morning. But I mean, you've seen it. You've been over here. I mean, most of my trading is literally my 15-inch laptop, one screen on my kitchen counter while my kids are getting ready for school. I'm cleaning up milk spills for my 5-year-old while I'm trading. I'm trying to get my kids to stop playing their video games so they get ready for school. There's all these dad things that I'm doing while I'm trading. And so what I have found and what I introduce to anybody who's test driving this is I actually want you to be busy. I want you to be a little bit distracted. You don't have to be tunnel vision with our system, but let me show you something where you can breathe easily through the trades, watch the trades set up, take the trades and watch the profits happen and see, could you actually make an extra $100, $200 a day? If the answer is yes, we've got an opportunity for you and it could change your life.
I just think that's a genius rule that you just laid out. Hey, try to make 1% a day. If you're down 2%, just stop and go on to the next day. I think that's just super smart. If you have strict money management rules and you stick to them, like your odds of being successful go up so much in trading. So for you, where was the turning point where you were able to make this into a full-time business to, not only be able to trade and make enough money to, take care of you and your family and get in a great situation there and then be able to help other people do the same? Like, what's that transition like where you could actually do this full time?
So that's where I believe that this opportunity sets us apart from the rest of the pack. Okay, because there's day trading outfits out there, but if they're not going to let you trade their money, how confident are they really in their system? Okay, because if you lose our money, you don't have to pay it back. We just literally believe we could teach anybody how to do this. So when I got started, they started me with a $2,500 account. Okay, I needed to show that I was going to follow the rules I was taught, and stick to the trading rules is what the rules are. And 3 months later, and this was in between my mortgage job and everything, but 3 months later, they gave me 5,000 more. And I'd had a bunch of stop losses get hit, Leo. I didn't think I was the best trader. I mean, when they gave me 5,000 more, that was a 300% increase. I never had an employer give me 300% increase in 90 days ever. So all of a sudden I had 7,500. And then the next month I made probably about 3,800 bucks. I was still trading small because again, I was working my job, trading maybe an hour a day. And sometimes it was 10 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, just depended on what happened for the day. But at my next quarter, so my 6th month, at the end of my 2nd quarter, they gave me 15,000 more. So I started at 2,500. 6 months later, I had a $25,000 trading account that I'd probably only grown 4,500 myself. So put that into the picture and realize when you're trading your own money and you're starting at 500, hey, 6 months later, you're probably only at 2,000 bucks. But when we're exponentially adding more funds, we're going to grow your account 4 to 5 times faster than you've ever grown it on your own if you'll show us as the investor that you're going to protect our money. So when I had the 25,000, the next month I made 9,500 bucks. The next month I did 11,800. And all of a sudden it just was just there. And I realized I'm making 1.5 times my mortgage income. I could quit my job. And that's when my wife goes, well, let's make sure this wasn't dumb luck. I'll never forget it. I was like, thanks, hon. Appreciate the confidence there. But, we just did it for the next 3 months. I kept doing what I was doing. Everything was the same. Honestly, I was looking for like 2 or 3 trades a day. I wasn't pushing it, but the 2 or 3 trades a day helped me stay with my trading rules. It helped me realize, okay, the market's not there. There were some days I didn't take any trades at all. Just like a restaurant, some days it's just dead as a doornail. There's nothing you can do about it. And that next quarter, I mean, I quit my job right there just before I would say about the 9th, 10th month was over. And then the company gave me 35,000 more. I was not expecting that. But right then and there, it was over 60 grand that I was trading on the company's money, and $10,000, $15,000 months were not very difficult from that point on. I didn't even have to go for 1% per day anymore to make that kind of money. So you really see this build and build and build. And if you have this area where you're satisfied at like 600 a day, 700 a day, well, now you know how many trades you need to take or how long you need to sit in the market. It's just really, and it's different for everybody. Some guys are more aggressive. Some ladies are more conservative. It's just so much fun. I actually have 3 generations in 2 families, grandma, son, grandson, and the grandson is amazing at this. Like, I hope he'll become one of our coaches really soon. He's such a good day trader.
Unbelievable. So if you're trading foreign currencies and no one's ever done that, how do you make money trading the US dollar versus the euro or the Japanese yen versus the US dollar? Like, how does this, I think we all understand stocks. If I buy Apple and Apple goes up and keeps going up, then I guess I'm making money, right? But how does it work with currencies?
You know, it's really interesting. Like, if you're going to get on like Amazon or eBay, like a selling company, you have to own something to sell it. Okay. In the foreign exchange market, I don't have to, it's 5 to 6 trillion. I don't own any of that. Okay. And it's not like a stock where you're buying and you're holding forever. You could, if you want to be a long-term trader, you could do that. I like to get in and out and be done in an hour or less than a day if I have the opportunity to. So when you're hitting the buy button in the foreign exchange market, it's simply because you believe the currency price is going up in price. If you're hitting the sell button, simply because you believe the currency price is going down, and the indicators are telling you what that is, why that is. Foreign exchange market was not created so that you and I could trade in it. We just found ways to do that. Could you believe that you can actually make money in a down market like in 2008? You got to think about it. At the end of the day, somebody had to make all that money that was getting lost in the IRAs and 401ks. Remember all those 60% drawdowns? It was the day traders.
Yeah, those 401ks were becoming 201ks at that point.
That's right. That's right. And in that case, they were just hitting the sell buttons. Like, every single trade was a sell for like 7 or 8 months for those guys. I was so interesting to understand that because I'd never traded before. I had no idea where the money went, And so nowadays it's just really interesting to see how all of that grows in the investment markets. But, an interesting story I gave to someone who'd never traded before. And I just said, okay, here's the foreign exchange market. Okay. You've got to realize that the common currency worldwide is the US dollar right now. Okay. And there's a lot of battles going on about that right now, where a lot of countries don't want that to be the case anymore. Ever since gold was the thing back, what was it, like the Nixon days or something like
1970.
Finally common. Right. And we're coming into some of those same battles right now that was happening with other countries. But here's the idea, to not get lost in it. If you had, and I'm just going to make up countries, I'm just making this up as I go, but let's just say Australia was going to buy an aircraft carrier from Switzerland. Okay. 500 million. Is that even decent to say aircraft carrier? I don't even know.
It sounds about right.
Okay. So there's our strategy. There's our analogy. Okay, if Australia wants to buy that from Switzerland, they have to pay 500 million in US dollars. Switzerland has to accept 500 million in US dollars, and then they go their separate ways and convert it to their currency. That's where it's equal. And so that's where these currency markets are really built, and why there's 2 different countries against each other. It's like a little tug of war between Europe and the USA. So I like to trade in the 6 major US dollar currency pairs in the morning, because I like to look and see if there's anything in common. Is it US dollar strength? Is it US dollar weakness that's driving this? Sometimes that allows me to put 2 or 3 trades in at the same time. It's like having 2 employees sitting next to me that I don't even have to pay to do the same work in that. And I show a lot of our new traders how a lot of that works. It's a lot of hands-on. There's a lot of one-on-one training we do. There's a lot of group training we do when you're in Trader Light. Ultimately, we want to help these guys be able to take their hand off the side of the pool and get into the deep end. That's how they do. The indicators, there's 5.5 pages of mathematical algorithms. Leo, I'm not a calculus guy, but I can understand a red and green line crossing and a black and gray line crossing and understand what that means and look for the signals. And the more you look at it, the better you get. It's the repetition, not the memorization here.
So it sounds like in this currency market, you make money because the US dollar gets stronger. Its value becomes more valuable than maybe the euro or the Australian dollar, or it could get weaker And then you guys just have these trends and the software that kind of gives you additional indication like, hey, the dollar is getting stronger today, buy dollars, or hey, the US dollar is getting weaker today, let's sell them. Is it kind of like that?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, even like gold versus the US dollar, silver versus the US dollar, even natural gas versus the US dollar exists. Do you know you could even trade the S&P 500 as a currency against the US dollar? Like it exists.
Wow. Okay.
So these are just all these ways. The foreign exchange market, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, someone else here would have a difference of opinion, and I respect that. But the foreign exchange market, in my opinion, it's slower, it's safer, it's easier to learn from because you can recover from your mistakes better than some of these really fast markets in the stocks.
Like GameStop going up. What did it go up? Like 130% yesterday or something like that?
Wasn't that impressive? I know.
From like a Reddit account.
Crypto is becoming a thing in the next couple of months. Crypto. We're doing it. We've got it on our indicators. We just haven't really turned it into an actual training specifically, but our coaches are working on it. We're seeing how well our regular good trading strategies are working on that. We will have a forum for cryptocurrency here shortly as well.
That'll be fun. Now, as I'm listening to this, usually your trades are lasting no longer than a day, maybe an hour, 2 or 3, depending on the day. So does that mean that your money's liquid? Like if you need to pull it out and take care of something, you can, or does the money get tied up for years or months at a time?
You can pull it out. I mean, it really depends on the individual. So I am not a licensed broker, so I can't recommend brokers. And you guys are going to find out how important it is to us to always remain compliant with the CFTC so that we stay in business. We're always careful. So the way I want to answer that question is a trader can use a USA broker. A trader can use an overseas broker. I use an overseas broker. There's different rules that apply with that. But for me to get my money with an overseas broker, I can do an international wire, which I prefer because the monetary value doesn't change. I just have to wait 3 or 4 days and pay like a $30 or $40 transfer fee. Or I can change the money from the broker, convert it into a crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, anything, Ripple stuff I can look into. I can have a crypto broker, but you transfer the money to the crypto. You still have to wait 2 or 3 days so they don't get accused of money laundering and all that kind of stuff, right? But 3 days later, you can pull the money out. I hadn't been a big fan of doing it that way because of the monetary values changing. Sometimes, like I went on a cruise once and Ethereum dropped like $150 and I had 5,500 I just pulled out. I didn't touch that money for like 2 months until it came back. But because I wasn't trading the crypto, I was converting the money from overseas to crypto to the USA.
So the cool thing is though, like if you have a 401k or you've got a traditional IRA or an investment account, or like it's tough to be able to pull money out without all sorts of issues. But it sounds like what you're doing with currency trading is much more liquid. If you need to pull money out, you can. If you need to pull profits out, you can. And that I think makes it unique compared to a lot of investments out there.
Yeah, anytime you need access to the money, there's actually something in your back office, kind of like logging into your email and then just pushing the buttons telling them you want $1,500 or $4,500 or something. And then you get a receipt and then you just start looking for it, knowing that it's coming.
Well, this has been fascinating. I think the next logical question is, okay, Jaron, you've got my attention. This looks like a great opportunity. This can be in addition to your full-time business. I know you've got a lot of entrepreneurs in your community that are traders because it doesn't require so much time. You've got full-time, part-time. I like the story of the grandma that does it Tuesdays and Thursdays. So what's the next step? How do I learn more, and how can I work, with Jaron and dominate day trading? Because you kind of have your own training class that you do every week.
Yeah, we do. I host a live trade webinar, my very own, on Tuesday nights. And then our company, we do them on Wednesday nights as well. There's always constant continuing education, even long after you're done with your one-on-one coaching. Like we do not take that away from our traders. We have our own chat rooms, our own trader chat app. You can look it up, in any of your app stores. Trader chat app has a little shield on it with some arrows there. That's us. Now you've got to be Trader Lite or a member of ours to access, but we're throwing trades out at each other. We're telling people to look at indicators. It's a family of traders that kick in. So The thing I also want to express is entrepreneur or someone who works for another company. We're looking for just about any of these types of people. This isn't multi-level. It's not network marketing. You don't need to recruit people to make money with us. This is about you and your laptop anywhere. You can have an internet connection. And so what we have you guys do is if you have a reason to need to make an extra $100, $200, if you want to grow money for other investments or grow money for your business, this is a great avenue because you don't need 4 or 8 hours. You don't need to leave your family to be able to do something like this. So the next step is the website is dominatedaytrading.com. Now you guys can either click on start 30-day trial, and then you'll see that it'll just say do now $10, and you'll see that we'll donate. If any of you guys want to donate more, this is really cool. Something that our company did and didn't even cross my mind until someone mentioned, and I just was like, you know what, that's a great idea. If you want to donate more than $10, when you're signing up under our Trader Lite program, there's a little bar that you can slide to the right to donate 20, 30, 50. So if you have a reason to want to donate $50 to St. Jude Hospital, please, we would love it. They would love it. And we're still going to treat you exactly the same and work with you in person over those 30 days to really get a hang of this. But dominatedaytrading.com/join gets you to that same $10 sign up, or dominatedaytrading.com and you click on start 30-day trial. And that's it. That gets you plugged in for the $10. And you guys are going to be working specifically with me. That's something I worked on and agreed with Leo, is I would be the one working with you guys, plugging you into this and letting you see if this is a good fit. We're going to trade together. I'm going to throw trades at you in the morning and see if you're trading at the time frame. You're going to look at the same stuff I am. You're going to have the same trading screens that I do, because Leo's right. I don't like complicated. My charts.
Thank goodness, Jaron. There's too much complication, and so making it simple, like that's what everybody wants, because it can be simple when you follow the right rules.
That's right. That's right. And Leo, I'll also tell you on that same website, dominatedaytrading.com, if they click on learn more, the next box that pops up says watch program details. If they'll type their name and number in that, it just sends me a text to follow up with them if they have any more questions. But that'll convert an old 3-minute cartoon video into my day trading intro video where I show some of the buy sell signals. You guys see me talking on camera about the opportunity. So there's another place to get a little bit more information.
Outstanding. And so, and then there's different opportunities for more one-on-one coaching and more advanced training, if you really want to take this to the next level.
Yeah, you got to look at it the same way as you would like a massage therapy school, right? Like you've got to get the training before anybody's going to let you put your hands on them and give them a massage.
And then that's what you want. That's how you protect your money.
That's exactly it. We know the people that are going to be putting that time into the training and working on those things have a reason to be careful with our money. Show us you're protecting our money. That just means put the stop losses in, let them get hit. You're hearing that from me. Let the stop losses get hit, because you get to start over. You get a new trade, and then just have more money in the account at the end of the quarter. And we're going to add more funds as we get through there. You could see a big difference between $2,500 and a $25,000 trading account. If you do the exact same work that made you $75, well, with a $25,000 account, that's making you $550 to $800. It's the same work. It's just, how awesome would it be to make 200? Go to your boss tomorrow. Hey boss, I want to make 200% more this year for everything that I did last year.
What are they going to say, everybody? Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to laugh.
They're going to laugh and be like, okay, hey, when can we get rid of John? But that's the ticket here. The same work, you get paid more money as we increase the leverage. If you guys want to trade your own funds, you could absolutely do that at the same time. I would recommend trading our money. It's free money anyway. But Leo, I trade some money for myself at 100% profits. I trade some money for the company at 80% profits. I trade some monit for my dad, and I give him 100% of the profits. No tax implications to me.
That's a good son. I want my kids to learn how to trade and give their dad 100% profit.
Yeah, there's ways for me to be the authorized trader for him. But here's the key. This is so important. So I want to say this. If you're not licensed and I'm not licensed, you don't go out and solicit that you can trade other people's money. You cannot do that. But if my dad asked me if I could trade some money for him, that was okay. So I just need to clarify that.
That's right. There's lots of regulation around this. You want to do it the right way, but the value here is the education. You get the education, you stick with the community, your odds for success go up. And that's how it is. And that's what we talk about on this podcast every day is become an expert, pay the price, sacrifice the time. And if you do that and you stick with it and you don't bail because you have a failure here and there, then that's how you can have the type of success that you've had.
That's absolutely right. And Leo, if my situation is anything like anybody else on this podcast, when I graduated college, I graduated in exercise science. I had $330 in my bank account, and I went and I applied for jobs. It was like 2003. Nobody was hiring. They only wanted to pay me like $9 to $11 an hour. And I was like, here's my 4-year degree. What? I just started in the mortgage business, and I was making way more money than that. So I understood that here I was paying for a technical training in the mortgage business, but I was the entrepreneur, which meant I had the opportunity to make more money because I was taking that risk. And ever since then, I'll tell you what, I just haven't been able to go work for the man ever since, because I understood my hard work needs to pay me the most. And if anybody else believes that and agrees with that, I'll tell you what, day trading is an awesome break from the regular day. Like when I was stressed in mortgages because I was putting fires out every day, I loved that I could come home, just clear my head and focus on these little 6 to 9 trading rules and make money. I mean, I was laughing by the end of the day, just going, I can't believe it gets to be this simple. That's awesome. Did I have losses? Yes, but we understand what the losses are like. And we give you guys the strategies and say, here's where you should put your stop loss. Here's where you should put your take profit. And we tell you why, and you get to understand how all of that works.
Well, phenomenal stuff, guys. Go to dominatedaytrading.com. You get an opportunity to actually work with Jaron, be a part of his trading community, and the opportunity to make money from home. And let's be honest, over the last year, it's never been more important to be able to control how you can make money, do it from home. So many people on this podcast are listening, looking for additional opportunities. Well, here is one. It's proven. They put their money where their mouth is. They actually let you trade their money. Just remarkable. Also, just so you know, we've had the opportunity to work with a lot of Jaron's clients in different areas, help them save money, help them get their finances in order. And so it's been an amazing community, and we've really enjoyed working with Jaron. So there it is, dominatedaytrading.com. Jaron, you got the last word.
Hey, I appreciate that, Leo. Thanks for letting me get on here. Guys, if you've got any reason, any need, make some extra money, or hear this, your spouse, she's at home or he's at home, somebody's at home, and they could pop open a laptop while the kids are at school, you have a reason to find out if this would be a good fit for you. Anybody can learn how to day trade. They need the $10 reason to get in there and find out if this is something they could do. I wasn't looking for day trading, Leo, when it found me. I was just looking for $100. And so when I saw it and I got to see the opportunity and give it a try, it grew on me. And that's the same invitation, same opportunity I want to give to everybody within the sound of this podcast today.
Amen.
Are you looking for more 7-figure secrets, content, or even how you can launch your own recession-proof business? Then check out 7figures.com. That's the digit 7, FIGURES.com, where we share more videos, stories, strategies, funding solutions, entrepreneurial education, and even the secret business type that's recession-proof. Thank you for listening, and if you're finding value in our podcast, please give us a 5-star and invite others to join the club.